My English is bad, but no one good.
Alright, thank you everyone for coming today. Are we online as well? We are online as well. Good.
Oh,
this is a very short notice, right? Yesterday or last night, right? I thought instead of postponing, I asked Lamding whether he wants to postpone it to next week. No. He said, go ahead. And so I said, let's do it this week then. So Thursday, this morning, he's going to do it. And after that, you want to ask me, you can ask me a question after you then. Right? After you can ask me a question.
So
alright,
let's stop. Okay. Research. Thank you.
Welcome.
Research. Right. Perceptive of public power, the public needs in public measure. Next one. Next part. I have 12 parts. One research objective, two research patients, three research methodology, four research strategy, five research structure. One research objectives. At present, the research on the public needs of public management in China is relatively limited. So on the one hand, radio and universal assessment of public needs from the perspective of public affairs, and at the same time, we put public power in the facilitation of the connotation of public needs in public management. Through the analysis of public power, they elaborate by basic mathematical issues such as the natural development and the choice of public needs in public management.
Use the cursor. Use the cursor. Use
光
the.
标，用光标。
Use that.
I know.
Okay. Hanif is controlling. Alright. Okay.
It's okay.
You press that again. You don't have to do that. Please continue.
No.
继续吧。
In public management and how the actual is statistically the research of this paper should achieve the following goals.
Hanif just finally took it.
因为你多学见嘛，你说话控制着。
我不，哎呀，你就出了听我英语不好没有。
Please continue.
他这边呢，然后我这还比较小嘛，然后我就想大一点啊。Next one. Thank you. One. 怎么这个单词读 ？Theoretical report what the public nature of public management is and try to construct a public theory of public management on the basis of it, so as to enrich the basic theoretical research of public management. Two. Analyze the essence of public needs of public management from the perspective of public power and take it as the main line to impart the research section of public needs of public management around who has power, who exercises power, why then exercise power and how to regulate power. The actual analysis, the lack of publicness of the public management in China and makes clear coding separations on how to rebuild the public needs of the public management in China. And two research questions. Next.
Yes, good.
Okay. One, what's the public subject of Chinese public management? Two, what's the public view of Chinese public management? Three, how to use the realization mechanism of public needs to retract public power. Three. Next. One, quantitative research, abductive and interpretation. Two, research made how by finding and reading a lot literature based on the theoretical consideration of public needs of public management. The course by Chinese and Western scholars. This paper studies the public needs of public management in China from the perspective of public power based on the current situation of China. Next, four. Research strategies. Next. Okay. This four key stats. One, the source, the literature reading and seeing captures the knowledge and meanings. Two, find out the theories put forward by Chinese and Western scholars related to this study. Three, implement the theories put forward by Chinese and Western scholars related to this study. Four, is theoretical implies the public nature of public management and tries to construct public nature, public theory of co-management. Next, style research strategies. The paper is divided into 7 parts. Part 1, introduction. Part 2, literary research review. Part 3, research methodology. This paper might analyze the public needs of public management through the abductive research strategy. What is the public management? Common needs and through the public power really the public nature of public management. Put forward public management, public risk standard of sex. Next.
Is that sex?
Okay.
Standards of sex.
Yeah.
Size. Yeah.
Okay.
Part 4。
再说你上一
size 我知道 size。
那你打错了。
不是他那个
你打的是
翻译直翻了，你
性别吗？
你直译了，不是他说的是公共性，是那个
public needs。
他咋是给乐的？
I have to play the Google Translator. Google Translator. Google Translator.
是 public needs。
哎，可以是 public needs，主要你是
Standard of sex.
稍微看吧。
继续，肯定。
Continue. Serious. Just be serious.
Part 4. What's the public subject of Chinese public management? The main body of public management is public. 这个读好长。Organizations, many is governmental and no governmental public institutions. institutions and the main body of public management, government and no government, only is force of interaction and cooperation can foment public institutions, make public affairs more effective. 最后来说的
efficiency.
Part 5. What is the public view of Chinese public management? Public management should pursue different the public view of variety management in accordance to affairs, effective promotion and fair distribution of so-called public. 我又翻译错了吗？
你们讲，
这个对，但是题意是什么？我记得
社会公共兴趣，让รู้怎么说？
Stop laughing！
为什么？
对
Stop laughing！ 本来就 laughing 还跟他说。Sorry。
还有咱说第几部分呢？第5部分主要说的就是因此必须对公共权利进行限制约束，这样才能确保公共责任的实现。
这实现怎么成了 model 了呢？
对 ，Part 6。
没事，你先把这个开始
不，就你把这句话翻译一下包了。就是其实那句话说的是，因此必须对公共权利进行限制与约束，这样才能确保公共责任的实现。
So we should.
It's okay. I'm reading as well. I can get this.
老师说他没看他的
他明白。
他说他有点印象概念就。
就是 Part 6， how to use the realization， mechanism of public needs to restrict public power, the inner of public power, the contradiction. Determines that the public power has the possibility of doing good and doing well, and the public power is reigning in the process. It's very likely to deviate from its public nature and descended push the embrace of the subjects on special interests, that to the in order to ensure the realization of public responsibility, public power must be restricted and concentrated. Nice. Part 7, country. Towards the public management of China, public should be Chinese public the core of common management. The main problems discussed in the article are summarized into some basic planning CPR called public theory of public management. 1. Public management is management for public. 2. The management is not just the art of the state. 3. Public management should be accountable to citizens. 4. Public management, the pursuit of public will should be very fair. Public management is not closed, but a spirit lab, interactive and open properties. 6. Public 这个单词写错了，这个administration is wrong. It is management should be good by deep more orientation. Nice. Thank you for your watching.
Good.
It's not easy for him to write.
Of course, it's not easy. Of course, I can see
我
that.
太难了。
I can see
哦
that.
这你要不要把那个耳机给老师？
给他吗？给他好像反应不太好用，他可以踹一下。
What's that?
你要 try 一下
Let me
吗？
wants to give you the machine for translation.
你要 you try，
Do you want to
Okay.
try?
对。
它这里也给你。
So I have to put it on, or can I just put it here?
Put it on, as it has the
但其实帮我翻译。
Oh, you're gonna speak, and I will listen to your.
You try, you try.
对
OK， 中国的黑科技。
Okay,
But
alright.
once you speak English and the Latin can hear
Yeah,
the
English.
translation.
Translation.
你能听到
It's
你
not
说
good
的
the
吗
version
对，但是可能让他不准确，还
and
是
then
需
you
要
uncover
大
it.
家。
It's just going to translate it directly.
我试着，I try。
It's just
So-
give it a try.
So when Lambi speak, I will hear in
In
English.
English, yeah.
When I speak,
哎，
Lambi
你
will
说
hear
你
it.
说中文，他
And
能
then
听
he
到。
will
能
receive
听
the
到
Chinese.
你能听到我说中文吗？
Could you
这个表情。
could you hear English?
翻译的只是你可以听到
哦，他只翻译了 part
a
of
part
it.
of it, yeah.
So it's in English or in?
It's English, yeah.
老师能听到一部分，你能不能说快一点呢？你能听到中文吗？
你能听到中文吗？
可以
OK，
OK，
可以啊。
那你能听到英文吗？
比较慢的，没有那么快。
是慢的。
慢的，OK。
就是你说完了得等他一下。
对，但是你看，
啊。
就英语翻译的不准确。
So when I speak, you will understand as well. It will
Yeah,
translate to
yeah. And the Latin can hear the Chinese and see the characters here, but usually not so.
Yeah, quite a lot.
So when I speak English,
It's not
Oh,
quite
okay.
accurate.
you will hear in
对
Mandarin.
But not so accurately and not
Just like
So
not so
it's a
quickly.
two-way translation.
Yep.
When I speak Landing, 我说英语，你就可以。
And the Chinese will show on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
on his
I hear
application on
Chinese.
the
You hear Chinese when you speak Chinese.
But 不准确的。
Not so
Okay.
accurately.
So this is like a universal communicator, Star Trek.
Yeah, start.
Star Trek, universal communicator, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, amazing technology.
You can have a try.
Yeah, amazing technology. I thought it's here now. Technology is here. So okay, where do we start? Let me tell you something first. Yeah, Rambi, and I think this is an important one. You have a very important research here. This is a very good and important research, right? Understand what I mean? 可以明白听到吗？
OK，
This is very good and important research. Because
here is the character.
yeah,
The
I
translation.
right, okay.
But you need the eye contact with landing, right? Eye contact.
Eye contact.
他希望你可以跟他有眼神接触。
Okay, yeah.
我看就行了，我看。
So this is I said, this is a very important research. This is a very good research. My concern is, can you do this research in China?
Yeah.
你能在中国做这个方面的研究吗？
OK， 可以的。
不危险吗？
危险吗？
我的父亲 ，my father is 政府的 government and my mother is to God. And my uncle is
I don't know. Young girls.
uncle is 也是do you know 人民 paper Chinese paper
共产党啊。
人民日报怎么说？
人民日报newspaper.
Yeah. My uncle is 人民日报的总编辑。
The dean.
The dean.
Number one.
Dean.
Leader.
The dean.
The dean of the university.
最大的。
Daily China, something like BBC.
News.
The government paper.
The chief editor.
那就更危险了。
没关系，然后他的级别是中国的部级。
这咋说呀？我说部级。
部级就是国务院下边那个级别。
Very important
Actually,
role.
his uncle's level of his occupation, not just going to be department
就总理有7个嘛，下边
and we have different levels of the public servant officers levels and the central government like the chief of the central government department.
Okay, if you know, I'm telling this because you are going to do this, and you're in China, you're not in, America will be easier to do something like this, but China, I don't know what's the situation like. You're studying something really sensitive here, but it's very important. It's good research, right?
他担心你的这个研究会不会在中国会比较敏感，因为这个在美国做的话就不会有那么多的敏感性，因为当然你做的这个研究是比较重要的。
Yeah, insensitive.
没关系的。
没关系 ，OK, alright.
因为我主要研究的是根据很多中国和西方其他国家的一些学者提出的理论，来找说他们不研究的东西，然后我来填补它的空白，尽可能的填补它的空白。
I got a decent persuasion. Is this a delay? Nothing yet. 还没有翻译。
Okay. Maybe I can the system. So, lab-based research will just both focus on the Chinese scholar and some Western scholars, their theoretical research, and try to find some gap of this kind of gap of those theories. So basically, he's just doing a kind of theoretical research.
Okay, right. Okay, so let me clear up. So that's the first question about are you safe to do this research, because I still want you to complete. So, okay, that's question number one. You're studying publicness, perspective of publicness of public management. All right, okay. Where do we start here? Yeah. This is a big research. It's also, but if you are doing a philosophical type research, right? Philosophical research, literature, theoretical, philosophical research. Okay, then, all right. Then you want to rephrase the title, right? Rephrase the title, right? So you're not really studying. Okay. You're not really studying public management on the ground. You're not go in public institutions, studying public institutions, right? You are actually studying theoretically, right? Philosophically, right?
你不是在研究这个落地的，就是那个
不是
实际
公共管理的实践，而是你做的是理论研究。
理论上的。
Is that right? Okay, good. Alright, okay.
所以你可能要重新 reform， 就是重新组织一下你的题目。
Okay, alright, yeah. Okay, so there are things that I'm going to discuss. The whole thing needs to be worked on, but it's good. But let's go to your research questions first. Let's go to research questions.
Research question.
Not research, yeah, okay. What is the public subject of Chinese public management? Alright. When you say public subject, what do you mean by public subject?
这个是什么意思？
你的 public subject 你是什么意思？
用中文说。
中国公共管理公共性的主体是什么？
主体是什么意思？
Objects of the public management in China. The object.
Alright,
Who you are? 是谁？你研究谁？
I'm going to use a philosophical word.
谁是公共性？然后它的
What is the ontology of Chinese public management philosophy? What is the ontology? Ontology. What is the ontology of Chinese public management philosophy? You got to put in philosophy there, because you're studying the philosophy now, right? Not the real practice, not real management.
Yeah.
Am I right? 对不对？可以翻译吗？
Ontology 管理的哲学，中国管理哲学。
Ontology, what's it?
Ontology.
What are the components? Another word would be ontology. What are the components would be another word. Components can be another word. Ontology can be another.
Component.
Components.
可以了，就是你想说的具体的意思。
Is this what you want to study?
Yeah.
Translated.
Component 也可以分为成部件或者主体。Ontology 是主体论、本体论的意思。在哲学上面也可以表示你所说的主体。
Should take picture. We're using this now because it's like a new tag for me. Yeah, take picture.
Take picture.
Yeah.
Has anyone understood what I'm
你可
saying?
以说这东西老师的翻译吗？
Okay.
你给点反应。
I'm using universal translator.
给点反应。
Smile, people.
See, look at this, universal translator.
Yeah.
It's like Star Trek.
Star Trek. Maybe.
You know Star Trek? They can communicate with aliens.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So how do you communicate?
Some kind of miracle and linguistic.
Yeah, it's a linguistic tag. Yeah.
handful.
Oh, yeah. Very good. Very good.
15页。
Page 15.
15页。OK， 12页。Part 3.
Research methodology.
No. 4. Part 4. OK.
Also have to
是
change
一样的，要改
change the
但是我是想写的是这个问题，主要写的是下面的这些内容。
啊。
main board.
Like we want to make a research about this content, so he needs a title about the conclusion.
这是一个章节，这个章节主要研究的是这些。
这个只是这个问题的 statement 啊。就是你的问题的这样的一个陈述，你前面不是只有一个问题吗？后面是对这个问题的陈述。
但是他想let me want to make a research about this content, so he wants to make a conclusion and make a title here. So he wants to show what he wants to study.
我会写4点。第一点是公共管理主体的公共组织的特殊性。
The one is the organization.
第二点是政府在公共管理中的主体地位。
明白。
第3点是国家神话与市场的，就是乌托邦，应该说是非政府公共机构的崛起。
那这里我找到那个相关的点，你没有1、2、3写出来就
它只是中国名字，但是其实写的是非政府组织机构的崛起。
但这里没有
涉及到 NGO。
因为公共就是公共是公共管理的是有政府组织机构和非政府组织机构的所以在这一块儿我会写一个非政府组织机构的出现，它是怎么出现的
So you define public management as both government and non-government.
对，你的政府的定义是包括了这个 government and non-government。
就是政府和非政府。
So you define public management as both government and non-government.
你的那个 public management 是针对政府跟非政府组织都是包括在里边的。
Okay.
对，就是公共管理它分2个部分，一个是政府机构的组织机构的，一个是非政府组织机构的。
Okay, let's go back to research.
然后 第4个呢，我会写政府机构和非政府组织的这个公共这个关系的构建，就它这两个，一个政府一个非政府，他们的构建的关系，就公共机构这个关系。
构建是什么意思呢
construct
？Construct.
对
like a building relationship between the government and institution and NGO.
Okay.
The relationship.
All right.
最后一点就是还要写一点就是对公共管理的主体的分析。
They analyze about the subject of the public management.
对，因为
Object.
我它的中文是这样，然后
就是这个they analyze about the management about the public management about on the objectives.
Objective.
Yeah.
对，但是我翻译的是翻译刚才那个翻译。
Okay. All right. So let's look at your research question and then we can work on it together. Yeah.
所以我翻译成是这么翻译。我不知道是对还是错。
So the first one is basically what is Chinese public management philosophy, right? Basically, we want to know. Okay, all right. So the first one is basically what is Chinese public management philosophy, right? Basically, it's very ontology, very simple question, but not easy to answer. Number 2, what is public value of Chinese public management? How to realize it? All right. Okay. And the public value of Chinese public management, what do you mean there? Public value.
这个你解释一下第二个。
第二个是第二个呢，我想通过3点写，一个是公共管理的价值根源。
The original.
Hold on.
Now let me make.
第二个点想写的是西方公共管理的价值演变。第3个是。第3个是西方公共管理价值演变。
Did you hear
the first one and then you can do the third one, the second one disappeared.
第一个、第3个他听见了，第二个他没有。
就是第二个的question
第二部分你再回去。
第一部分是有了，第二部分是西方公共管理的价值演变。
The transformation of the value on the Western
management philosophy, the value system, the transaction.
Okay. So if you ask for Western, then you should not have the word Chinese there. Okay. So you want to compare between Western and Chinese public management philosophy, or?
我会说我会通过文献的资料去看西方在这个方面提出的一些问题和理论和概念，然后也会查找中国的这个问题提出的这个。
That means to wait. Then is to await. Wait for a while. It's not coming. No. I think the translator okay.
这是第一点，价值的根源，公共管理的价值根源是第一点。
Okay.
这个他知道了。
So, all right. I want to help you go for the second one. Yeah. So, what is the ontology of Chinese public management philosophy? So the second one is what is the ontology of Western public management philosophy? Because you want to compare with Western public philosophy. Am I right? So make that another research question then. What is the ontology of Chinese Western public management philosophy.
老师，你再加个问题，因为你不是要中西方比对嘛，那你就再写一下西方的那个，就是 what is
本体论。
这个，你不是说中国的 public，你再加一个问题。
西方的
Western
管理哲学的这个主体是什么？
就 Chinese 还是 Western，你也再做一个问题。
对，然后第三点，真的就是我们要重新塑造一个公共信号。
他先给你解释。
OK OK。
Alright. So now when you so the public value question, right? You said there are 3 parts, isn't it? Right? So the first part, and I forgot now what the first part was.
The original， 第一个是什么？你的第二个，第一个是啥来着 ？Original
价值的根源，公管理的价值根源。
The original value about public management.
The original intention, the original definition. Value. Original value.
价值的根源。
Original value.
The source of it.
Oh, the source of value.
Yeah, the source of the value.
The source of the value.
的根源的。
The original value system.
来源也可以。
来源也可以啊。
Oh, that's the source. The source of value.
Yeah.
Also listening to this one. So the source of value of public management. Okay, all right. So the second research question is you just copy the first one. You just change Chinese to Western.
Which one?
You copy the blue one is now the one you made.
Copy this one and the
Replace Chinese to Western.
就再加一个。
So that would be the second research question.
So just combine it into new research questions.
That's right. Yeah.
Comparison.
Western.
Yeah.
Western, Chinese and Western.
So it should be the question one or a part of the question one or a new question.
New question.
New question. 新的问题。
他给你重新列一下，第一个问题，第二个问题。
Right.
第三点，我想写的是公共管理的价值的诉求。
第二点呢？什么？第二点，这个 public value。
第二题看。
还得继续解释 public value。
So public value, the first one， 第一点是什么 ？Source of values of public management。第二点呢？
第二点继续。
The second one。
你的第二部分，你不是写了3点吗？
第二个是价值的演变的，西方公共管理的价值演变。第一个是公共管理的价值根源，第二个是西方公共管理的价值演变，第三。
第二个 ，the transformation for the Western public management.
Western public management.
So it's comparing to, okay. 第三点呢？
第三点，写的是重塑公共性，我国公共管理的价值诉求。
Make a reconstruction about the requirements of on the public management in China. I'm not so sure the
没有，
translation.
再来一遍。
就是通过，就因为这一章嘛，这个问题主要讲的是公共管理的价值的，什么是公共性，它的价值是什么？
你把第三点。
对，所以在
中文再说一遍。
所以在这当中呢，一共有写3点，第三点就是要重塑这个公共性，就重新建造嘛。
Reform the public.
Okay.
然后主要是从我国公共管理的价值的诉求方面，就来重塑这个公共性。
It's a should question, right? How should? Is that the one? That's the point. Is that 怎样
Yeah. How? It's a how question.
It's a how question. How to improve?
Yeah.
What's the reform?
How to reform?
How to reform? Okay.
Reform the public image of the.
Alright.
Chinese
Okay. So what you do is the question number 3, right? What the first one was what's the source of value? Source of values of public. Why do we need to say source of values?
You can prove it helps some research
What is this? So
老师为什么要研究啊？
没有，你是要研究它的这个来源，它感到有些困惑。一般
我其实是要研究它的价值，通过这3点来研究它的这个价值。
那你其实应该说是 value system， 而不是 source of the value。
我们是那个直译的。
Actually just change the source of the value。
就是我要通过这3个点来说我的这个问题。
No, the source of value.
Yeah, and so that's a value system. And how the value system could be reformed from the construction of the administration.
Alright, okay. I see. By the way, goodbye. Why say goodbye? Say goodbye. So now, so this is actually connected to question number 1 too. You know? So it's connected to question number 1 and question number 2. Alright. So question number 1 is what is the ontology or the components of Chinese public management philosophy. And the second one is what is the ontology or components of Western public management philosophy. That's question number 2. Now question number 3. Question number 3. What's the differences and similarities between Chinese and Western value system of public management? What are the similarities and differences between Chinese and Western public management? Right? Okay.
中西方公共管理有系统性的相似。
Alright, and then a sub question after question number 3, it's still sub question underneath that. What are the strengths and weaknesses? We can think a different word. What are their strengths and weaknesses? Yeah. What are their strengths and weaknesses? Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Now, this will be question number 3. So question number 3 is about comparing the value system of Western and Chinese public management, and then to see the strengths and weaknesses, so that you will know what to improve. Right, Andy? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know what to improve. You don't make the improvement as a question yet. You keep the improvement later on. Right? You don't make it a question yet. Let me understand your question number 3 now. How to use the realization mechanism of publicness to restrict public powers. Okay, this is where I'm actually make note here. Your question, the last question, how to use realization mechanism of publicness to restrict public power. There's a presumption. Yeah, you're making an assumption that public management needs or should be restricted. Right? You do not want to make that assumption in a research question. Right? You don't want to make that assumption. But you can make the argument once you have identified the strengths and weaknesses. You say, okay, this is the problem. So how can we resolve this problem, right? Alright, but now let's make your question number 3 connected to the point number 4 just now. Point number 4 has to do with public, government and non-governmental, right? Institution. Am I right, Lambi? Can we go to point number 4 just now, Anif? What is the public? The main body of it is public organization, meaning governmental and non-governmental. Okay. Alright, that's the main body of the process. Okay. So here you want to look at right. Let's go back to the question there, and we might rearrange the sequence of the question, but it's alright. Now the question we want to ask is ask want to put the term government and non-governmental, non-government into the question now. So okay, a sub question after what's the differences between similarities, right? So we have the sub question is what are the strengths and weaknesses. A second sub question now. A second sub question is how do these two public management relate to define or define okay delete that one. Interpret the relationship between government and non-government. Alright. How do these two public management philosophies, interpret the relationship between government and non-government? What? Sphere. After before the question mark, spheres or realms of spheres, you can use that. SPH. ERE. SPH sphere sphere remove the R, remove the A, R E S, spheres. Yeah, right. It can be spheres, it can be spaces, it can be realms. You know. Landin, is that?
Yeah.
Is that okay? So so we are looking at how. I'm also listening to the translation. Many people talk. How do these two public management philosophies interpret the relationship between government and non-government spheres? All right. Okay. So you will have the your point number 4 inside this one now, right? Okay. Now this you're still question number 3, right? This is question number 3, right? Right. Nami, you want to say something?
你的意思是第二个问题里需要写这2个点吗？
这是第3个问题。
这是第
一个问题，这是第2个问题，这是第3个大问题。第3个大问题里面有几个子问题，这个问题老师就针对你用的 Chapter 4里面你想谈的问题，他给你凝练的这个问题。
但是我最后一个这个 how to use 这个是这个权利制约的问题。
这个老师说了，叫你在这里做一个谈论。
但是这个我一共是用了四个项内容来说。
Explain to me.
就是一个是权利的内在矛盾，一个是它的责任，就是公共管理的核心是公共的责任，它的核心是个责任。然后第3个就是这个责任实现的基础，就是制约公共管理的权利，是公共责任实现的基础。然后最后一点是中国公共权力制约的几个思考的问题。
You only translate one sentence. Not 4. Translate only one. But let me understand. point number 3 there, right? Can you scroll down to point number 3, right?
No.
Somewhere there, right?
你是讲那个号那个部分对吧？
This one, right? Yeah? Not here. Now down further. There. No. One more down. There. No.
Part 6.
6, part 6. Yes. The power. Yes. Okay. So, if you want to deal with this part, right, which is talking about the dominance of government, how to in the power relation determines the power. Okay, the public. All right. Okay, this is how do we phrase it? This is almost a how question here, but we want to be careful not to put a how question unless you're testing the how question, right? So, how do?
就上次讨论的，一般会把号放在这里，除非你后面做了后续的测试，否则你这不是自己给自己找题。
Okay, so now you have some specific. This is actually the problems, right?
Excuse me.
This is actually the problem of that the public power, the inner public control. So that the government has dominance over public management. That's what I'm saying, right? So the government has power or dominance over public management, whereas it should be government and non-government. Right? You are also saying that the problem was in random process is very likely to develop the nature instead of so this is a side that subjects only trust. Okay. The second thing is that you are saying that the government, when implementing its policies, when they practice, there's a possibility instead of going a straight line, they will deviate, right? From the word deviation, right? And then interest, okay. So then maybe we're still working on this one. Maybe a fourth question. We got to go with fourth question now. Fourth question is the fourth question is about balancing. We just play around with the words for here. Balancing between public and balancing between government and non-government. Mitigating or preventing or mitigating or preventing deviation of public management practices from public interest. Deviation of public management practices from public interest. Deviate. Nambi actually uses the word deviate. The other one is what is it? Managing disproportionate or managing asymmetrical power in the power of government. Asymmetrical or imbalanced power of government. All right. Lambing, look at the points that I suggested just now. Are these the issues that you want to look into?
就是你想的。
其实我就研究3个问题就行了，第4个太难了。
这是对的，
就 1, 2, 3 OK 啊。
1 to 3 is okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
1, 2, 3 maybe it's not enough for PhD.
Yeah, sure. Oh, this is heavy already. How to this? Okay, let's change the how to what. What are the interpretations of the two public management? What are the interpretation of the two public management? Yeah, what are the interpretation of the two public management of the relationship between government and non-government spheres, right?
TPH, EAT.
Okay. What are the interpretations, right, of the two public management philosophies? Instead of here we should use the word vis-a-vis, or in relation, vis-a-vis, right? VIS again, VIS. Yeah, VIS. Yeah. So there's a dash in between. Vis-a-vis the relationship. There's a the relationship between government. All right. We can have another one. This is question number 3, right? Okay. Can we put another one? Put another one. Specifically. What are the what's the word we use? What are the interpretation? What are the solution? No, not solution. What are the I want to say how do they address? What are the another word? Just put the word interpretation again. Interpretation of the same two public management philosophies. With regards to balancing with the first one should be managing asymmetrical power of the government. First one, right? And then comma. Balancing between government and non-government spheres. And mitigating deviation from public interest. Right. Okay. So there's a 3 sub to question number 3. But landing, you decide whether you want to do this or not. It's your research whether you want to do it or not. Right? Look at this. Because I sense that you really want to propose improvements, reform, right? That's I sense that that's what you want actually, right? So
Landy told me that it's a problem about the translation because we've already have a discussion about the how, and he's already know that if you want to say how, you should make a testing, and it's very difficult.
yes. So should not put a how. Here you can still speak about how without putting the how question there. So you're not showing the effectiveness of your solution. You're just saying that there's a problem, so things need to be done to solve this problem. What is the problem? The dominance of government, right? The imbalance of power between government and non-government, right? The deviation of practices from public interest, right? So you can talk about that. So definitely you can talk. You can lead to solutions later on, but that's not part of your research question. Huh? What happened?
What? It's disappeared.
It's okay. Can you undo?
You already erased that?
后退呢？
Can undo?
No. Is it the reverse?
Is that the one there? The one no, the one. More to the right.
我烦你，阿弥陀佛。
It's okay.
That one. Wait.
No.
后退有后退的键的。
没有，这个是 PDF 的一般不会有那个。
有啊，我的 PDF 有后退啊。
你是用哪个软件打开的？这个是
WPS， 我是 WPS。
WPS 这是 Edge， 这是 Edge 浏览器。
Let's redo it.
Just again. Just type it again. Sorry. It's okay. Honey. It's okay. Just we enter it. It's gonna be okay.
号，然后但是号不合适考的。
Accidentally deleted, yeah. It's okay. Can you do a control Z? Try control Z. Control Z again. Okay, no. Let's do it again.
Do it again.
Just now was right. Question number 1, question number 2. So question number 3, right? What was it about again? Question number 3.
Someone take picture.
Okay. What are the is that the one that let's do first and then we
Difference.
what's the interpretation of what the interpretation of the two public management philosophies? No. What are the similarities and differences? Right. What are the similarities and
That's
differences?
the sub question.
What is the question?
Yeah.
Go back in our recording. Can we check our
Wait,
recording?
we have the recording. Yeah, we have the recording.
Yeah, looking into the recording, okay?
It's so complex. I forgot what I said. What we discussed.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just pause a while and you look at recording. It's okay. Where is it?
没关系，你看都有录屏。
我的意思是说，
这不用想。
我的意思是到最后汉字都过出来了。
Okay. Yeah.
Thank God we have good forensic. There.
看不清嘛，主要是。
Try your best.
看不清啊。
看不见面的，我们可以听
听。
听嘛。
听不懂。
Okay, there. Good, good.
让他们以后听完帮我敲一下。
We just listen first. We just listen what we say.
老师说先听一下，然后
Can we hear? You gotta go back in time. Okay.
What is the differences
and similarities
of
Okay.
Western?
Can you type what is differences and similarities and then we transfer? Can you type or somebody type? Right?
Somebody type.
Oh. Oh, you're doing okay. So this is OBS. You can do multiple screens. It's a good thing OBS.
What?
Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, Hanif is so good. He can do this and that. Yeah. What differences and similarities between the two public management philosophies? Right? Alright, then go back video here. Yes.
Yeah, then sub questions. What are the strengths and weaknesses? What are the interpretations of the two public management philosophies vis-a-vis relationship between government and government responsibilities? Yeah, I get it.
I cannot read. I'm so close, I cannot read.
I get it.
And you can type it and have some
Okay,
memorized.
some muscle memory.
Muscle memory.
Some question, okay. Strengths and weaknesses, yes, okay.
Oh, that's it.
What are their strengths and weaknesses? Okay. 1, 2.
What are the interpretation?
You can see it already?
Yeah.
Interpretations
of the two.
You're so fast, isn't it?
Philosophies vis-a-vis. Vis-a-vis relationship.
The relationship between.
Yeah.
The relationship. Vis-a-vis the relationship. Vis-a-vis, by the way, there's a dash between B's and A.
Yeah, really.
Then another one here.
Oh.
Another one here. So it's pronounced vis-a-vis. The S is silent. V-I-S.
Right, VI.
So there's no S there. Vis-a-vis. The S is silent. The relationship between
Government and non-government.
government and non-government spheres.
我觉得以后晚上请大家吃饭，你们随便点，找点好吃的。
别这样，
Third.
Group 3.
Specifically, what are the
What are the interpretations with regards to this one with regards to what interpretations? Oh, thank you, Yusman. Regards to maybe you should take some拍照啊。
我没拍。
Just do the interpretation. interpretations. What are the interpretations of
the two?
What are the we just do this. What are the interpretations with regards to what are the interpretations there? Just put there, then we know it's the two. The interpretations with regards to the dominance of government. The dominance of government. Dominance of government in public management, comma, the asymmetrical relationship between government and non-government, and the deviation of public management from public interest.
你赶紧拍照，
Wait, I don't know where to put this. How to put it?
Okay.
看清没关系，可以。
放大早能看清。
不是，它有那个蓝色的嘛。
谁？还得谁？对，谁？谁？保存。
Green, right?
Green.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Lambin, you want to, you don't have to decide now.
Yeah.
You read through first the research questions.
Maybe put it in the next page. That could have been okay.
This
And the next page could have been more planting roles.
因为有点让你先看一下，其实你已经。
yeah.
对，是的，哎，就这样。
Okay, you agree, alright.
OK 啊
Okay.
Okay.
可以啊，可以啊。OK，可以。
那我第三，这不是第三
个问题给你列了3个子问题，那原来那个字就没了，不要再耗了。
对。
All right. And now let me say a few things first before we go to the research structure. You can omit it first. You can keep it first. You don't have to put in the slides. Yeah. The research objectives. You can go back to the slide for research objectives. Where it's not this one. Go up furthermore. Okay, research objectives. So I can go for one more above. Go down back. Go back down. All right. So instead of calling this one research objectives, you can call it problem statement. You change it to problem statement because you need problem statement. Yeah, you don't have problem statement. You need problem statement. So you want to clarify a problem statement so that your problem statement will lead to your research questions. Now, your research question, your research objective down there. So this one is not research problem statement. This is the research questions. So your research questions now, research objective now, change it so that it corresponds to your research questions. Right? This one was before, right? But these are okay. Hold on a moment.
是让他改了这一段儿。
This one actually, right, can be part of your problem statement. Yeah, this one can be because we're talking who has power, who exercises power, why they exercise power, how to regulate power. So this can be part of the research problem statement. Right, you can bring this up to.
Let me translate. 就是老师说上面那个他把你改成 problem statement，
他说一种研究问题，其实就是研究的目标。
不，你那个不能叫研究目标，他把你上面那段陈述改成了研究的那个 statement，然后说这一页其实可以连接在那个 problem statement 后面，因为你上面相当于陈述了一下这个你的问题啊等等的。
那我
你 research objectives 应该。
OK。那我的题目是应该叫什么呢？我的题目。
整个title，你跟他问他。
Okay, alright. Maybe alright, we're talking about publicness. Okay, research question is the title. Okay, the title public. I'm going to give you a title, so that then you can change as much as you want, right? Reinterpreting publicness in public management. Reinterpreting publicness in public management. And then colon, reinterpreting publicness in public management, and then colon, a comparative what is it? You are doing analysis of Chinese and Western public management philosophy. Okay. This one, I need to change it to reinterpreting publicness. Reinterpreting publicness. Or you can call it reinterpreting publicness. You can say questioning publicness. Maybe reinterpreting is fine. Questioning, critiquing, or you can. This is a working title, so you can change it, right?
Reinterpreting.
What is it?
Reinterpreting.
Reinterpreting is fine. Revisiting is another word.
像针对
Revisiting.
中国和西方管理哲学的分析，或者比较分析，或者比较研究。
What is problem statement in Chinese then?
问题陈述。
问题陈述。
问题研究。
什么问题？
什么？就是他说 problem statement 在中国叫啥呀？
就问题
陈述，就提问题之前就有个问题陈述。
陈述是 statement。
就是意思是说要说这个。
法庭陈述 your statement on the court。
问题陈述不就是说要说这个问题？
陈述。
describe。就有点先 describe 这个 problem 现象。就先形容一下这个问题啊。
Some description of the phenomenon.
Okay. Lambin, you have any question? Any question?
Methodology.
Oh, methodology.
我的那个研究方法是什么呢？这个可以吗？还是？
不是 reproductive, so it's not reproductive.
No, A B 什么那个
Adaptive.
对，
那你不是写了？
但是我给他新的，我刚才给他错的了，是
It's not reproductive. It's not abductive either. Because you're studying philosophy, right? So it's either inductive or deductive.
只能是演绎法和归纳法。
So it's probably closer to inductive because you're
归纳法。
closer to inductive. Unless you have some theory and then you want to test the theory based on the text they're analyzing. We are basically analyzing text, right? Lambi?
你主要是分析的是文本是吗？
对，是的。
那你只能是归纳法，你不能是演绎法，因为演绎法有一个实践的过程，因为你没有一个 participation 或一个 practice。
我看了 professor 的视频，归纳里面有4步，第一个是数据的收集，那么归纳就是数据的收集嘛，收集文献嘛。
Let me see your video on the YouTube, and he has a question that because the 是这个
数据收集就文献的这个收集就属于数据的收集。
你的研究的过程和研究的对象就是你的过程就是要收集文献是吗？
就是现在的问题是我们的归纳法嘛，我不看了老师那个讲他的万能视频嘛，第一个视频他讲的归纳法一共有4步，第一个就是数据的收集，第二是分析数据，第三是概论和结论，概括就结论，第4个就是这个定律的问题。那么我这个都是分析文献的，那么我第一步的数据收集就是我主要是收集文献嘛。
你这个问题都不是问题，是的，我都可以都不用经过他，都可以告诉你是的。It's the context. Lambing is just wondering, when he just saw your video talking about the inductive research, and there was going to be a step just collecting the data. So as his research subject could be this kind of stage collecting data means collecting those contacts, right, of those documents.
Okay.
Literature, something, stuff like that.
All right. So you'll be doing heavy duty text analysis. So you are not explaining a why question. It's not a why question. There is no why here, right? Like Mutadi is looking at why, what causes the phenomena. You're not looking at what causes the phenomena. So reproductive is out, right? So that's important. Abductive is about letting the informants or the interviewers or the social actors define the phenomena, explain what is going on. You're not asking social actors to define it, right? So you're looking at text now, right? So if it's text, if you have a theory in analyzing the text or have theories to compare in analyzing the text, that will be deductive, right? But if you do not have a theory, you're going in, collecting the data from the text, that's inductive, right? So you are looking at the text, you're collecting data from the text, right? That is inductive. So inductive is like Zhang Yi Zhang, he's doing inductive research, right?
Yeah.
So you understand what I'm saying? So retroductive is about trying to find the generative mechanism, how something becomes something, right? What causes something?
I look 马克思理论，
Karl Marx,
洛克，就等等。
洛克政府论嘛。
对。
So that's leading to reproductive.
Here is your video, and here is the video. The step 1 is about the data collection. So Lambi want to know that whether the data collection to him, whether it's about the material, the papers collection.
The text. The text. The
various
text.
把他们的理论收集出来，分析他们的理论，然后最后概括出来我的，然后然后我概括完之后来实现这个定律，对吧？
So example, I think Confucius teaching will be one of your sources to look at public management, maybe and maybe not, right? Maybe not.
It's like just like a kind of a historical research. I'm just going to be some kind of Chinese Asian administration philosophy. Like Confucius, like Lao Tzu, the Tao. Something like that. It's just going to be Asian. It could be some kind of source of the administration values.
This is the good point. Yeah, good point. That Eugene has also talked about. Are you going to define the time period or without a time period? If Chinese philosophy, goes like thousands of years, right? Right. So it's an old tradition, old philosophy, right? So it's not. But you want to say it's a modern Chinese public management. That is a different thing. Modern Chinese public management, you can say from 1910 or before 1910 maybe. So you got to think whether you want to specify a period or you say you open up. Right? So if you say modern, then you want to use the same word for the Western modern public management. Right? Otherwise, Chinese. I mean, you can go. I like it to study the old Chinese philosophy. I think it's good to old. But a lot of modern Chinese philosophy, Chinese public management philosophy, is also taken from the old, right? But not all. Maybe you can take some. But so you can start your research, or your research material can be more manageable, more practical, right? Rather than go and dig the past, and it's much more practical. Maybe when we say modern, we're referring to modern history, right? Not old history. You can go not thousands of years. So it's a modern. So you got to define what modern is. Maybe if you want, we can go back to the title, put in the word modern.
当然，主要是谈到你的这一个选取的这个研究的这个时间段的问题。
我知道，他就说，我对翻译来说是就中国的已经有好几千年的
对，
哲学的，
你要
你想
研究的是一个 widely 的一个很宽广的一个时间线，
秦始皇的 public management 对吗？
还是你要专注于现代的管理理论？
因为秦始皇也有 public management。
I don't think it just couldn't be called the public management. It's just going to be the administration.
But
actually, public management is kind of subject, and it just divided, and like in the United States President Roosevelt. Divided into two parts, public administration and public management, and divided into two parts.
That's another good point, yeah. In public management and public administration, there's two different words. You put a slash first, and then you decide which word you want to use, management or administration.
But actually just goes confused, and just because in Chinese environment it's always just going to combine them together.
Yeah.
It makes the same.
Yes. But Lanmin, after this, right? In your thesis later, right? You got to define what publicness is. You got to define modern, right? Modern is not difficult. You just say make an argument when. What is that idea of public management or public administration? And then you say government and non-government, which is another one, right? The non-government is not just NGO. Non-government can be community-based. It can be there are other words for it. It can also be companies, right? Non-government can be companies. Any entity that's non-government. So, is that what you're looking at?
事业单位也是 non-government.
Community-based organization. Mothers coming together, learning how to sew. Right? That's government. Residential association. That's also non-government.
居民互助.
Yes. So it's a big, huge thing. You want to make it big, huge, or you want to make it smaller, right? So that is something you want to think. So the word non-government is also a big word, because basically anything that's not government is not government, right?
So you have to make a definition about this.
Where, otherwise you got to change the term non-government into NGO maybe, right?
NGO, that be more specific.
Very specific. NGO specific.
Yeah.
Companies are not NGO, right?
Yeah. in some perspective, it just as the provider of the social resource. In Chinese description, there was just going to be many sectors to provide this kind of public resource.
在中国非政府组织里边有一些文化团体，社团，还有慈善机构，都属于非政府的组织的。像政府组织就是我们常说的这些政府的机构叫政府组织。
This is how we can approach in defining. You can use the Chinese definition in China. Definition of what non-government is, right? Or then you use the Chinese definition, but you got to justify why you choose that definition. That's important, justifying why you use that definition, right? So in the Chinese context, you're using this definition, and this definition will include the various entities. So, that you need to define. So you can say in the Western context, non-government, whatever means this, but in your context, non-government. Like, sometimes people see media as a separate entity from company too. Maybe not. I don't know. So, in the West, they see media as the fourth sector, so to say. Fourth sector. Right? They feel that they are,
but mostly what is going to be some kind of in the North America, they would have all talk about that as the fourth sector to maintain the independence.
To maintain the democracy independence.
More democracy independence.
公司在中国也是非政府的。
公司 companies
公司还有传媒公司啊，媒体这都是非政府的。
媒体是什么？
非政府。
Media。
但国家的传媒是政府的，比如说国家广电、中国广电总局，是政府的。
CCTV.
Chinese Central Television.
Yes, and then there's CGTV also. CGTN, CGTV. Alright. Okay, so I've given this input. So now, relook at your work and work on the inputs I've given. But you can change. It has to be your research, right? But I told you, this is something to improve the way you phrase the research questions and all that. Right? So when you look at it, whether you like it or not, whether you want to improve it, you want to change whatever, you can do that. So you got to good focus on that one first, yeah. And then your methodology just now, the part that you need to improve. You can say inductive research, but you got to identify the literature reading and all that, and searching and capturing knowledge, meaning you got to identify the sources. What's your data sources? What are you looking at? Yeah, literature, or what kind of literature you're looking at. You got to separate between literature review and the literature you want to study as the text.
Literature research.
What's your text that you want to read?
你的研究的文本是什么？
你的文献综述跟，因为你研究的就是对，否则我们都是。
No, that's it. When you say modern public management philosophy or public administration philosophy, you can also have interviews. You can have interviews. Yeah, because you can say, well, you can go ask.
His uncle, parents.
Yeah, you can ask your parents and all that. Yeah, but that's not. But you're not making the interview as representative. Just you're not looking for public opinion here. You're looking for
Alice interview.
Yeah, the insights of government. Government leaders or leadership or whatever. So how they see public management or public philosophy, right? Or they can say, look, before modern period, China's philosophy of public administration is like this. Now, after the revolution, or after whatever, after the colonial time, colonizer stuff, now it has transformed, so they can say that as well, right?
Semi-colonial.
Semi-colonial, yeah. But colonization can occur through power. Colonization can occur through knowledge. So our definition of, now the world talks about democracy, right? Democracy is a new thing. By the way, this is a joke. It's a joke, right? It's a joke. I told you about a joke. It was a French embassy invited. The French embassy invited the American delegates, invited the Chinese delegates to talk about democracy and to celebrate. They have their national independence. So the American delegates said, well, because of the French Revolution, that we have democracy, and the Statue of Liberty is actually came from France, right? They transfer. So democracy is good for the world and all that. And then the Chinese delegate came in. So French asked the Chinese delegate, what do you think of democracy? The Chinese delegate said, well, it's too soon to tell. It's too soon. It's too early to tell. Right? Because democracy is only 200 years.
Yes.
The Chinese dynasty is 400 years, 500 years. One dynasty is that long, right? So Chinese has a longer history than democracy. Democracy is only 200 years. But now we define the world whether it's good or bad based on democracy, right? Now, I personally, this is my own take, democracy is not the aim. Good governance is the aim. It can be a kingdom, it can be an authoritarian state, it can be a so-called, a free market, whatever, right? But good governance is important. And a lot of good management is not democratic. Family is not democratic, right? Father and mother make decisions, sometimes mother, sometimes father. It's not democratic. Military is not democratic. It can be good management. Hospitals are not democratic. They can be good management, right? So good governance is actually the aim, not democracy. That will be my take, right? Might be controversial in today's world. So the Chinese will have his own philosophy of what's good and bad. So, so that we are not stuck with colonial episteme, colonial constructs of what good and bad. Right? Now the world define their government based on good or bad, based on democracy, and then the democratic institution outside will come, oh, you're a good government, this is bad government. There's Transparency International, oh, you're a good government, your index is like this, your rank number 3, number 4, number 5, number 7, number 20, Right? Whereas if you look at China as I'm not 100% saying China is good. Compared China, India, China is much better managed. India is the biggest democracy in the world, right? Yes, right?
Yeah, the population they are overcoming us.
But it's like, compared to China.
The population of India, which is going to be the number
I remember
one
like
in the world.
a few decades ago, 20 million people just disappear, not die, disappear. They don't know what happened to 20 million every year. That's India. I'm not saying that China government is 100% good and there's a lot of problems with it, but doesn't mean democracy is good. India is the biggest democracy, it doesn't mean it's good, well managed, right? So anyways, going back to what I want to say is that what is it? You can ask those people, right? You can interview people. You say, what do you think about philosophy? Chinese philosophy of public management, public administration. The Mandarins, the Quan, right? Quan, right? That's a Chinese bureaucracy. Is a Chinese system. Bureaucracy is a Chinese system. So that's another. It's a big contribution. They have taking exam to become a Quan, right? You have 考试. Right? They have this story of people tying their hair to the right? Right? Right, there's a story about that. They 读书 and And
So is that still going to be a comparison to Max and Babas?
yeah,
Chinese
yes. Yeah. That so I'm saying that there are things that you can capture. So I think the other thing you want to see in extract up is just now we talked about ontology, right? So there can be cultural or local wisdom. The wisdom, the local wisdom, whatever. And Chinese have a lot of local wisdom there. too many local wisdom.
Sometimes it just makes people confused.
I learned something from you again was what?
双减政策，双
哦
减
Double reduction.
Double reduction
No, not double reduction. 昨天前天的。
什么？
昨天前天
你跟他
你有教他吗？
千里之行，始于足下。千里之行。thousand journey， 千里之行。千里之始于足下，开始 begin。始于足下。foot。foot。足下。
Okay, alright. That's where we have this English translation that a million miles begin with the first step, right? English usually translate that. But then the Japanese have their own version too, which is alon watan klakon, which is slow,
Do it slowly.
It's okay to be slow as long as you reach the destination. In bahasa we have a 成语 as well. Biar lambat asal selamat. Is biar lambat. Biar is lang. Let it be. Let lambat is slow.
It's okay to be slow.
It's okay to be slow as long as you're safe. So they say driving is usually they use that. Biar lambat asal selamat. Like the word selamat pagi, right? Selamat pagi, selamat petang, selamat, right?
Selamat. Another meaning is safe.
Selamat is an, 早安, right? Selamat安全. Selamat datang, which means an. Selamat is an. From the word Islam. Selamat comes from the word Islam.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam, selamat. It's the same word. So when they say Assalamualaikum, they say peace be upon you, safe be upon you. That's what Assalamualaikum means. But it's in Arabic, right? But Arabic that's gone into bahasa. So selamat means an, 安全 So 早安 午安 selamat pagi, selamat datang. Same words actually. Okay, I think it's 1:35. And then you want to ask me. You want to ask me now? Everyone hungry yet, or?
可以关了这个，可以关了。You can see my.
Okay, you show me that. I can show that. Okay, we can go for lunch and you show me that one. Is that okay?
Okay.
可以关 can turn off. 可以 you know what 可以 now is that?
And the meeting.
关 is tutup. Turn off.
没有，
不，挂了
没有，因为吃饭的时候单独跟。
Alright, 凯来 when are you coming here? 凯来。
开来。
开来师兄。
他在吃饭。
看来，
原来中国伙食好。
怎么又圆了一点？
中国伙食比较好。
I know Hansen is coming sometime this month or early next month. Hansen just told me. Right, okay. And Chang also, we will see you soon, yeah, Chang. I'm very engaging for your proposal your findings presentation soon.
Okay, see you Prof soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
See you also. Yeah.
Waiting for the evaluators.
I might asking for Chang's some help with it.
So, Lan Bin, 你的研究是好像张的研究也是差不多。Because data is different. Data is different. It's inductive. The data is different. How do you say data in Chinese? Data.